Hey, it's Art here with another trading video for YouTube. Not much to well, there's been a really big downward slide start on this Monday morning, or my time, Monday 11:45 at the moment. There's been a big downside move from the start of the day. It wasn't really much of a gap overnight, as you can see. Here's where we closed and here's where we opened, but as you can see, bang, a big dive, heavy volume, and all, just pretty much everything. I'm looking through the sectors though, and there's not really, biotech's kind of getting killed, healthcare a little bit, but other than that, it's been hasn't really been much on the radar. So it'll be interesting to see what actually happens and whether this holds or not. We're just looking at the tick at the moment. As you can see here, here's the day here. We just saw quite a spike down to the -500 range, which is a pretty solid sell-off to start the day. Shows a lot of stocks are broadly getting sold off. A little bit of a fight back, as you can see, but that's starting to come down too. My early thoughts are this could be a kind of trending day. I'm just looking at the market profile in the context. I'll show you what I'm talking about. As you can see here, here we are right now. This is yesterday. This is today, of course, and it's yesterday just there. As you can see, we had the gap up and then just a big sell-off, and then we returned to a kind of normal value just around here. And that's the price where we're at now, which is why I haven't actually made any kind of trade yet, or any thought about any kind of trade. I'm still waiting to see what the market's kind of thinking at the moment with in regards to fair value. So as you can see, it's kind of oscillating around. It's kind of found itself at this point at the moment. So we're going to see how it reacts to this, and then maybe I'll be able to find a setup and make a trade off that. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll have a really boring day and I won't be able to find anything. One thing about day trading too is trending days are probably, for most day traders, trending days aren't money-making days. Trending days are where the swing traders and your long-term traders make money. Typically, day traders get crunched, and there was some good advice that was given to me a while ago when I first started. He said, "Look, don't look to try and profit off the trend days. Don't look to profit when the price is moving in one direction or big. Don't get caught up in trying to catch on the price, because that's not the kind of trade you are. Maybe if you get a few quick scalps in the middle there, take a few quick ones, maybe a pullback, gives you a nice little position to get involved. Yeah, sure, take the trade." But he said, as long as you can break even or make a little bit of money on trend days, don't worry about it. Your money as a day trader is going to come from other types of days, like yesterday, like Friday. As you can see here, just moving down here, I did make one trade on Friday. That was just around this point. I just went long. As you can see, it was just tailing at the end here. We had pretty much a lot of positive volume coming out this 32. I don't know if you can see it. At this 32.8 mark around here, we had this volume here. It was mostly very kind of positive and uptick kind of volume at the bid, I should say. So yeah, and if you look at here, it's correlating with a strong point here where there was fair value. Obviously here the price got rejected yesterday at that point, and everyone just kind of moved the price up. So I thought it was a good kind of entry point just to get involved, and it turned out it was. I just wrote it back to the middle here, so it was like I think it was 34 tick trade or something like that. So maybe a little bit less, maybe 33. But yeah, that was just a pretty simple one, because it's just coming down off there. The volume is kind of looking weak, so you just take the trade, and obviously if it fails, you can get out pretty quickly, because I knew it was going to at least come up, at least to kind of this mark here before, the big sell-off. And when you see that, you can just get out of the way and just let it resume its course. Obviously, it's not going to hold, but in that case, it did. So it's probably one of the keys to kind of profitability is when you can see a trade and actually know when it's lost, even though you still break even on it, and you can get out before you stop, and that's when you're making good progress in the trading world. And it really does separate the boys from the men, so to speak, in this game. As you can see, it's almost forming like a V pattern here. We had a rejection off that point I was telling you about. It's a good way to show you. YouTube videos. Well, as you can see here, it just kind of hits here, and we're getting a lot of kind of positive, a lot of green coming into it. There's a big green fight back mark just here, and as you can see, slowly turning the tide, and we're coming back up to the midpoint as we speak now. As you can see, that coincides with this point just over here, this clump here. So obviously, people are seeing this mark as, you know, a good place to cover their shorts or whatever. Maybe initiate some new buying. Maybe they see kind of a bargain zone there. For whatever reason, they've decided to rebound it off there. So now our goal is to kind of try and work out a good trade at this point. As you can see, the tick's going pretty positive at the moment. It's wavering a little bit now. So the key is to kind of fade these marks. As you can see, if you fade these, you do pretty well. It might not be a bad position to kind of initiate a short here. I'll have to check out the volume first. Let me just go over this. Yeah, we're seeing a pretty even kind of display at the moment in terms of volume. In fact, it's probably a little bit bullish in terms of just the overall picture. However, we are coming up to this 38 mark. So this is kind of a key mark here. As you can see, there was a little bit of a bullish fight back, and you didn't see it in real time, but it did quickly go very green here, and then very red again, obviously. But yeah, it was kind of you got red down here, and then the green all came back. So obviously here, there was a little bit of a fight back. So it is kind of a key point here. And as you can see, we are experiencing kind of a big kind of uptick. I won't quite make a trade yet because it's kind of difficult. There's no rule. It's not really a big zone at the moment. The big zone is actually up at the 41 mark, so where it opened, and it basically decided no, it's not gonna make it that mark. It's kind of an irony because at the same time, for this trade to be successful, for a short trade to work very well, we want to get it up around this mark because that's kind of the zone where it'd be good to kind of fade the move. But if we do that, I mean, look at how price kind of displayed itself. We see a big downslide and then a complete, you know, reversal and almost a rejection of that whole move down. So that's got to say something about the psychology. So it's kind of like a contradictory kind of signal. And you know, you've got if you really thought this was a good risk reward mark, in terms of, you know, obviously maybe playing it down here, it's not a very practical or ideal in a reality sense kind of trade, because markets just don't. If it gets up to this point, I mean, it's not looking bullish enough to go short into any kind of meaningful risk reward sense. I mean, it may come back down here, but it's not gonna. You're not going to see a W form. It's just too bizarre kind of a look, because obviously it's just showing a lot of rejections, a lot of bang bang bang, and you know, let's face it. I mean, it's just not going to happen not in this current market climate. Not without some kind of news signal or something weird going on. It's just too weird pattern. So at this stage, we're just gonna see how price lends itself. I'll actually pause the movie right now, and I'll fast forward it to a trade. I might actually start a new movie if I make any trades. So I'll just throw this one up on the site, and yeah, you guys can enjoy it. And as you can see, we're kind of going bearish in a tick, and that's what I mean. I don't know if you could if you bought this mark though, there's no real good point to kind of hold it at this stage. So yeah, I'm staying out. But anyway, I'll create a new video, and yeah, for my next trade, and I'll see you guys soon.